Hi, I'm Limo Milan, and in this video we're going to look at Ableton Live's Scene Follow Actions. So the key two different interfaces we have for Ableton Live is Arrangement View, which is our linear timeline-based view, and we have Session View, which is our scenes, which are each row, and it can be different combinations of ideas to turn it into a song at a later point. Now, follow actions is the behavior of launching one scene to the next. So historically, the way that we've interacted with Session View is to launch scenes. So if I just click the launch button and move around a few of these scenes, you get an idea as to how we would normally interact with these. Okay, so that's like a manual launching behavior. And again, historically with Session View and Arrangement View, the way the scenes would be launched would be you could hit record in the Arrangement View record button and capture the change between these different scenes into this view here and then working it in the traditional linear arrangement after that point. So the follow actions open this up a little bit. Now again, historically, we've had clip follow actions where we've been able to change the behavior of one clip that's above another one and choose if they play one after the other or if they randomly play different options, and we play around with what creatively can come from that. But now we have the option with the scenes to do the same thing. So for instance, if I highlight all of these scenes and I go to the follow action section here, you can see there's a bit of information which is based around what's the existing setup of my project. So at the moment, if we go up to the actual global tempo, I'm running at 88 BPM and I'm working in a time signature of 2/4. So each bar is 2 beats. That is in terms of how long it will last at the moment. Now, each scene can have a customized BPM and a customized time signature. So you can play around with different kind of feels rhythmically and also tempo changes as well. Follow actions is the point where we will have the actual launching behavior change. When you hit one, what will it do after it's played for a certain amount of time? So if I turn on follow actions, and remember I've highlighted all of these scenes, so I'm changing this globally for all the scenes right now. We have a and a B launching behavior, so this follow action behavior. So I'm using just the A section at the moment, and if I bring up the actual follow action, I can choose what will happen when this clip has played for a certain amount of time, or this scene has played for a certain amount of time. So if I go to next, and then I go to action time, I can see that one bar, so remember 2/4 will be 2 beats. So one bar, it will launch the next scene. So this is a very, very quick way of having each scene automated. So every 2 beats, it will move down to the next scene. So let's just see that in action. Okay, so it's just working methodically through the actual, the stack, shall we say, of scenes that's happening there. But we can use this in a more practical way. Let's say we're trying to arrange our ideas so they'll just always play in the order that we want them to play in. So I could instead, let's go for a kind of generic layout. I could instead set this to be 8 bars per scene. So now it will take 8 of those bars before it launches the next one. So other things to watch out for here before we move into other options with the follow behavior is we have an enable disable function here, which allows us to either turn on the follow actions globally or turn them off. Now, in reality, when we're playing with follow actions, it can be enjoyable to interact with them and potentially record what they're doing into Arrangement View. But sometimes you just want to be on a scene and just keep working on that scene. You don't want it to move somewhere else. You want to stay focused on it. So turning off the follow actions while you do that is a good way of just having the scene launched. And then you can start and stop the project whenever you want, and it'll keep coming back to that scene. If we're in the follow actions behavior and it's enabled, it could be that one beat later, it randomly jumps to another clip and you can never focus in on something. So it's important to turn it on and off when you want to actually use this function. Now, the other aspect of what we can do is more random. So I can, again, highlight all of these and go for, let's say, for any. And let's set the duration to be 1 bar again. So if I launch the first scene, you'll see that it will randomize between the choice of the next scene. Now, if I increase the resolution of how often it will move to one scene to the next, we can have a much faster setting. So again, I'll change this globally rather than just for that particular scene. So in this context, it could be that you have multiple short ideas, you're not too sure what to make of them yet. So you put it into a random playing order, hit record in an arrangement view, so that can be captured in a permanent way, so you can then go in and edit it afterwards, but allow the randomness to generate some new ideas. The two key differences between the any scene and other scene is any can sometimes repeat the same scene one after the other, whereas other will always choose a different scene based on how often the action time kicks in. So that's something to watch out for. The jump option here is an interesting one. If we choose jump as our last behavior, so everything else is on any, but the last scene is on jump, what it means is when that particular scene is launched, the behavior will jump to the all stop button here. So it will actually stop the set for you. So you can see this is a sort of a generative approach to working with your project. You could set it so all scenes but the last one are running in a random order, and you're letting it just generate new music by, unpredictably moving between these scenes. And then you choose one of these scenes to be the one that says that's the end of the show, and it actually does the stop all clips function. So let's just try that out. So that was the randomness kicking in. The second option was actually the last scene. Let's try that again and see if it will play for a little bit longer before launching at the last scene, which stops the actual playback. Okay, so quite random on our follow action A, which is here. Now follow action B could be that we just set it to run to next. So it will run at the same action time resolution as option A, but this slider is the percentage of chance. So with it predominantly, with it 100% on follow action A, it's only follow action A that's going to happen. So let me just highlight all these scenes again to make sure that we're playing to the same tune. But if I start sliding it over to be still predominantly the percentage of follow action A being the one that will have the more likely chance of being launched, but we choose next and a 38% chance of follow action B happening, we can have different behaviors depending on the probability of it choosing follow action A for that particular scene or follow action B. Okay, so just to be clear, at any point, I can go to Arrangement View and hit Record. And all that random behavior or some predictable behavior as well has been captured into Arrangement View. I can press back to Arrangement View so the playback happens from this new captured running order of our scenes, and we can work from there to continue with our project work. In this video, we've been looking at scene follow actions and how they can be used to program completely predictable movement between one scene and the other, or introduce aspects of uncertain probability, and then how we can capture that into Arrangement View to work further on it in a normal recorded linear format.